What's up guys, welcome to the Tech Rundown. I'm Jonathan and today I'm going to talk to you guys about Android phones. More specifically, Google Play Edition phones and what they are and what is kind of in store for the future. So Google Play Edition phones are Android phones made by OEMs or original equipment manufacturers like Motorola, Samsung, or HTC that run stock Android. Now some of you might be saying, what's stock Android and how is it different from the Android that's on my HTC One or Galaxy S4? To that I'll say, that's a good question. Wish someone who knew what the answer was. Oh yeah, that's me. Well, stock Android is Android. It's what Google made Android to look like and how it intended you to use it and experience it. But because Android is open, OEMs are able to apply what's called a skin on top of Android, which changes the way it looks and adds features that weren't originally in Android. Now, skins can be both good and bad. A good side of skins are they add new stuff that weren't originally in Android. Now, on the bad side of things, it causes what's called fragmentation. Now, fragmentation is basically, in the market, there's lots of different versions of Android. The current one being 4.4 KitKat. Now some of you may look at your phones and say, well, I don't have KitKat. And that's because you probably have a phone made by Samsung or LG or Motorola or any of the other OEMs that make Android phones. And all those phones have skins. Now the reason the skins are bad are because when Google releases a new version of Android, it doesn't just go out to all devices. It goes out to the OEMs, and then the OEMs are responsible for making it compatible to their skin and then releasing it out to their devices. Now, OEMs make lots and lots of different devices with lots of different configurations, whether screen sizes, chips, or whatever. All that takes time when trying to make it compatible to every single device. And that could be 6 months to a year after release that a device may get an update. So Google didn't want people to wait around 6 months to a year to be able to try out the new version of Android, so they created the Nexus program. Now the Nexus program has a line of devices called Nexus that run stock Android. And these devices are made between a partnership with Google and an OEM, say LG for the current Nexus 5, and they develop a phone or a tablet that would run stock Android. The current line of Nexus devices are the Nexus 5, which is a phone made by LG, the Nexus 7, which is a 7-inch tablet made by Asus, and the Nexus 10, which is a 10-inch tablet made by Samsung. Now the benefit to having one of these Nexus devices are when Google releases the new version of Android, it gets released to the public, so it gets released to the OEMs. These Nexus devices get them first because there's no skin that has to go on top of them, so it just has to be compatible with the device. So there's only 3 devices, so then it gets pushed out to your device if you have a Nexus device, and you get updated and you get all kinds of new features that come with the new version of Android. Now the deal with these Nexus devices are they're good, but they're not high-end devices. Spec-wise, they're not the most powerful or the highest spec devices. And that's because these phones are sold through the Google Play Store and they're sold unlocked. For example, the Nexus 5 sells for $349 on the Google Play Store unlocked, whereas an iPhone 5S unlocked is about $649. That's not to say that the Nexus 5 is a bad phone. It's just there's other phones out there that are higher spec that people want. So there's been consumers that have wanted a high-end spec phone that runs stock Android, and there just hasn't been one, because for Google to create a high-end spec phone that runs stock Android, it would have to be an expensive phone, a $600 plus phone unlocked. Google can sell through a carrier, but with that comes, the carriers want certain things in order for you to sell on their network. And Google tried this with the Galaxy Nexus, but that phone ended up being delayed 3 months when it was supposed to because Verizon wanted to promote another phone, which I think was the Droid. So Google now decides to sell their devices through their own store, and they have to make it affordable for people to buy it. unlocked. So this is where the Google Play editions come in. Back on May 16th at Google I/O, they announced the Galaxy S4 and HTC One Google Play editions, which these are what people wanted. They wanted a high-end phone that runs stock Android, and that's what these are. They're the Galaxy S4, but just with stock Android. A couple months later, those two devices got released. And since then, there hasn't been really any news about the Google Play edition. So people were wondering, did Google forget about this? Is this something that's going to continue on? Because there hasn't been any new devices. That was until early December. And Google added 2 new devices: the Sony Xperia Z Ultra and the LG G Pad 8.3. And with that, you get a new phone and the first Google Play Edition tablet, plus 2 more companies, Sony and LG. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because Google added 2 more devices. And what that means is that Google hasn't forgotten about this program, that they still see it as a path that they want to go down. Because how else are they going to get high-end devices with stock Android? And this is also a way for them to get more and more devices that run stock Android. So Google sees this as a path that they want to go down. But some people have asked why. The Google Play editions don't sell very well. Nexus devices don't sell very well. So why is this a path that you want to go down? And I think it's the reason that I just said, to get more support for more devices. Because unlike iOS, where every app is made either for almost every iPad or every iPhone, you download an app in the Google Play Store, you have to look to see if your device is compatible with that app. And sometimes it's not always that case. It's kind of clear that Google doesn't care about sales, because the Nexus devices and Google Play editions don't sell very well. You don't see ads on TV or the internet that promote these devices. I think it's just to satisfy what people want. People wanted a high-end phone, so now that's what they have. They have an high-end phone that runs stock Android. They have a low-end phone that's more affordable to people that runs stock Android. So I think they're just trying to have a big portfolio of devices that you can choose from. You can go the low end or the mid-range devices, or you can go high end, pay more money for it, and still have stock Android. You don't have to go high end and not have that Google experience that Google wants you to have. And as for the OEMs, well, they're already making these devices. Hardware-wise, there isn't any difference between a Google Play edition and just a regular standard edition that these OEMs make. So the only difference is the operating system that it's running on, where the Google Play editions are running a slightly modified version of stock Android. For example, the HTC One, a lot of the process taking for pictures is done through the software. With the Google Play edition, you don't have that. So they kind of added it in to stock Android so that you can still get good pictures out of the HTC One while it's running stock Android. So that's it, guys, for this episode of Tech Rundown. Comment down below what you guys think, if this is a good idea of what Google's doing, continuing the Google Play editions, and what devices you'd want to see added in the future as Google Play editions. Make sure you guys click the like button down below. It really helps me out when you guys click the like button. So don't click the thumbs down. I've seen some people click the thumbs down button. It's the one right next to it where it goes up. You click it, it turns blue. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. More videos will be coming throughout the year. So this is just the first of many that will be coming. So if you don't click that subscribe button, you're not going to get the videos when they come out. Until next time, guys, my name is Jonathan, and I'll see you in the next one.